Howdy Chevy truck fans. Today we have a tuned Chevy S10, number 5 of 5 of what year, I wonder? 2005 it says up here. Okay. 20 plus. Why does it say 20 plus? Oh, maybe these are supposed to be 20-inch rims. Please leave a comment if you know. I don't. In the photos, I bought this off eBay, by the way. This looked a lot more cartoonish. And it definitely looks cartoonish, just not cartoonish enough. I'm like, you know, I like Choro-Qs. I like really, really deformed stuff. And, you know, the body of this one, not so much. This almost just looks like a lowrider. Or, yeah. Oh, well. Anyways, we have a nice metallic blue here, and a nice cool, I don't know if you'd call that a flame job or a tribal pattern, but it's nice. You got your standard Blings wheels here, running on like rubber band tires. And then you have the chrome base showing the texture of this grille here. We have some raised circles for fog lights, and then the main headlights and grille area is defined with these depressions, but the headlights are flush, just body panels. I guess the Chevy bow tie is there. On the roof we have nothing, but on the hood we have that outline of the Hot Wheels logo within that flame pattern. There's no interior at all, it's just a blacked out plastic. Okay, this side looks pretty good, no major issues. I'm now noticing there's some casted in mirrors, didn't see that before. And then some taillights detail showing from the side and the back, no paint. Okay, this definitely looks tuned. I mean, those are massive. These are in the running for the largest exhausts I have in my Hot Wheels collection. Although I do know Hot Wheels does make some crazy, you know, fantasy cars as well with major crazy exhausts, but this, for me, that's what I have. Tonneau cover looks, it's a good idea, I think, to have a tonneau cover. Okay, well, I think they had to because they can't recess the wheels here if that was actually a realistic pickup bed. So we got what the vehicle is and all that stuff there, and then the really inset wheels. You can see how far in because of the casting width there. So maybe that's another reason why I don't like it. The wheels are just too far in. Maybe if I push out some wheels, they'll have to be smaller diameter. Or maybe I make it a lowrider. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this guy, but I'll think of something. And so here we are with these guys. These are probably the most difficult 3D printed wheels I've done for Hot Wheels because they actually are spinners. So there's a ball bearing in here. If you watch the build, I didn't actually show you me putting the bearings in here, but I showed them after they're painted and I removed some paint from them. But if I hold this, see, you can see that wheel spinning, but the front part is not. Or obviously you can do it the other way. The problem with the other way is, since these spinners are plastic, they don't have any momentum, you know. Even though they will spin, they won't really spin freely once you stop the Hot Wheels because they have no mass to them. So they kind of, you know, they're not really spinners unless you just hold it still. Hold on here. I cannot focus. Here we go. Yeah. So, I showed the assembly. If you did want to tackle these, because these wheels will be on shapeways like all my other 3D stuff, you have to sacrifice a set of wheels like these that come with these hollow axles. This brand in particular, it's not listed under Ingenuity though, it's just, you know, just a Hot Wheels aftermarket wheel. So there's a hollow axle, and then they have these axle ends to push in the new wheels. So that's what's going on with these guys. So underneath this plastic center cap is that axle end that I just showed. On the rear ones I actually clipped the axle a little tighter, but it turned out that I didn't need to do that at all because this spinner has thickness to it also. So the front ones I didn't trim the axle at all. You can't trim the axle with clippers because you'll crush the tube. You have to use a Dremel with the cutoff wheel, you know, so you don't crush the opening, or you'll never get the axle end into the thing. So it's probably best to just leave it alone. It depends on the brand. But I'm pretty sure these are all around the same length because they're all meant to fit Hot Wheels. But don't come suing me if I give you the wrong info. Alright, so other than that, we got a bunch of paint, you know, black, silver, all that stuff, some taillights, and then some black in there. I just had some stickers for a license plate there laying around. And that's my gangster spinner, S10. Let's look at some other cartoonish models. Some cool customized Chevys there. So I got a bunch of different ones. Obviously we'll start with the realistic one. This is the good old Auto World of it's a C10 Silverado from '78, so a much older version. It's got that weird like patina graphic. It's like a plastic wrap, or I don't know if it's a decal, but it's definitely a film of some sort. But then the bed looks totally new, so that's my criticism there. I like the idea that you're trying new stuff, but it doesn't really look like a new old truck if the bed is brand new. Okay, the good old Ryu Asada tuned version of the Silverado. This is an '83 Silverado on this one. I don't know what wheels these are, I apologize. I just bought a grab bag of wheels and those look cool. This is a Kins Fun. You can buy it at a gift shop or AliExpress. I got this at a gift shop. It's a Chevy Stepside Junior. Really big wheels on that one though. Very tall model as well. Going the complete opposite. Japan has a brand of canned coffee called Kirin Fire, and this was a freebie that came with one of those cans, although I had to buy it. So obviously a Chevy truck, and it's a 65 step side. Very small, but it's free. It's all plastic also, but it's free to someone. And then this is an old rare brand. I don't even know how to call it. It's C-A-R-T or CART. It's impossible to find information on this, but it's some sort of race truck. I don't know what kind of race truck, but it's at least a pickup truck. That's a pullback toy. And the last one, and the best of the deformed vehicles, I think, mass-produced. The I can't remember anything anymore. Tiny Q. Tiny Q is the brand. This is one of their lower end ones from the Uno lineup, but it's still awesome. It's a wind-up toy if that matters to you. But for me, I'm just about the details. Look at all the little chrome bits. The mirrors are rubbery, like Mini GT. The headlights are actually clear plastic. Right? Even the turn signals have clear orange inside of a chrome surround. So really impressive. I really wish Tiny Cute just made more stuff. They just don't release too much because there aren't many of us collecting these cartoonish looking vehicles, sadly. Although, understandably. Alright, so a little top-down action here. You got all sorts of different sizing going on in the cartoon world. But then again, you can say the same just with Hot Wheels. None of them are true scale of anything. And this one clearly not. It's cartoonish a little bit, but not so much. Does it deserve a figure? Why not? Hold on. And so this is a little gashapon of a Votoms Berserga. If you're curious, I believe it's probably made by Bandai, although there's no text on there, so it's really hard to say for sure. And this photograph is a nice courageous individual rolling spinners on his Chevy pickup truck in the real world. My question is, do spinners still exist? I remember some urban myths where like the bearings would lock up and then the thing would break off and fly off and kill people. But again, that might be just an urban myth. So I don't really keep up on automotive aftermarket wheel industry news, so be curious if they still exist. Alright, well, it's not every day you get to quote 3-6 Mafia in a diecast car video, so I'm riding spinners, they don't stop.